I won't stress too much about the Oscars this year, even though this is basically what made me start this channel. But this is a very good one and I need to talk about it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Joseph and I'm a film fanatic. There's a reason why this was my #1 movie from last year, and if you had seen my predictions of the Oscars, I actually said that this was going to win it. Anora. There will be spoilers, but I'll keep it minimal. Anora is a 2024 rom-com about a Russian-speaking New York stripper who catches the eye of the son of a rich oligarch. They elope and areas scatter.
Me go fuck myself, me fuck myself, you go fuck yourself and your fucking mother, motherfucker!
As his parents rush to handle that crisis. See, when a movie carries the name of one character, either that whole story revolves around them or is because of them, or, and I feel this is more important, they are usually the most interesting person in the story. In Anora's case, it's both. Watching this movie the second time, because I watched it more than 3 times, I quickly realized that every single aspect of this girl's personality was actually beautifully foreshadowed in the opening sequence. Fiercely opinionated.
Shared my playlist with him, and he was very rude and dismissive.
Her mouth is sharp.
Does your family know you're here?
A very clear attitude problem.
And you dance with me? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And then...
You don't have cash, let's go to the ATM!
Well, at least he bought the dances. Yeah, make me a bell. A money bell?
We also get to see how unremarkable her life was prior to meeting Vanya, and this is why her, and by extension us the audience, can easily get swept up in the fantasy. Basically, this movie starts off on a subtle but very powerful note, and then the high energy for the rest of the movie is very, very consistent and wonderful. You only get like 5 minutes of peace when watching this film. It is rowdy, it is chaotic, and you are guaranteed a lot of laughs.
Please stop screaming!
But Sean Baker uses it so well to give us different types of excitement. The story is nothing new. Honestly, everybody has already pointed out the similarities between this one and Pretty Woman, even though I've not seen Pretty Woman. But you can basically get this kind of gist anyway. But I believe this proves the point that story alone doesn't matter when you want to make a very good movie. Yes, it is very, very important, but there are other aspects that you should really consider. There's tone, acting, cinematography, themes, and what I feel is another very good quality of this film, characterization. All the characters felt so real. They served their purpose in the story, no matter how small, and still felt like individuals in their own way. The little we saw of a lot of them gives us so much agency that we actually want to know more about these people we just met. Annie is the embodiment of toxic femininity. I kid you not when I say almost every single conversation this character had in this movie was about her sexuality. This is the kind of person to balance and think that Oga wife is a job title. You just know she doesn't have sense because she picked the worst version of her name. Then there's Vanya, who turned out to be exactly what I knew it was from the start. How? This.
Чтоб хуй стоял и деньги были, я?
Vanya's parents, Annie's co-workers, the men that came to get them. This movie felt real because of the combination of the tone and characters. But let me dive into the acting. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. I'm just glad she won it. I know that there were a lot of other names that people would have called. She wasn't even my first choice, but she deserves it, honestly speaking. She gave a solid performance, and honestly, I was just speechless. I can only think of a few actresses, and only a handful within her demographic can do what she did in that movie. Everybody in the movie killed it. I think only Vanya's mother gave one bad line delivery. It's actually not very noticeable. If you can nitpick as much as I can, you probably notice it and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But then again, like I said, it was just one bad line delivery and it wasn't really that bad. Another thing that was very noticeable to me was the amount of scenic and beautiful shots that Sean Baker used to tell this story through poetic visuals. The man knew what he was doing. Again, thank God. I understand that not all the didn't sit well with a lot of people, but honestly, if you can't see past that and appreciate this movie for the beautiful artwork that it is, then honestly you're missing out on a lot of its depth. Sean Baker really knew what he was doing because this movie's take on modern day romance is very, very interesting. I couldn't help but compare it to Past Lives, where both are tragic love stories, but for two very different types of modern day relationships. You could argue that Anora actually cared about this guy And at the same time, you could even argue that she would have been good for him. But the tragic thing is, she thought that her mentality that all men really just want sex and she can actually charge them for it was finally going to pay off big time. Ashawa or not, any of you that watched that movie would have fought for your rich man just as much. If this guy had said, Annie, you are my wife, enter that plane, we are going to Russia. I would love to see who wants to stop her. In conclusion, I give this movie a 9.5. This is a movie that even if you heard it as gist, you would probably still love. Pains me that I missed the entire award season buzz because of technical difficulties. The devil is a liar. But I'm glad for how everything turned out. A lot of my guys won and a lot of people are slaying on the carpet. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me and it means a lot to the channel. Share the video with your friends in case they love movie content just as much as you. And you'll definitely see me soon.